The more you practice it, the better you will get because of neuroplasticity. And the true you is untouchable. Congratulations to you, because you probably don't experience a lot of it. Hello and welcome to Productively Mindful. My name is ailandas.sulcas and I talk about everything mindfulness and spirituality. I post new videos every single Monday for you to watch and learn from about everything mindfulness and spirituality, basically. So today what I want to talk about is, I think, quite an impactful mind shift perspective, I guess. I want to talk about how to overcome negativity in the moment and overall. How do you completely remove negativity from your life? Well, let me give you a disclaimer. It is not easy. It is quite difficult and it takes a lot of practice. Same as with acceptance and non-judgmentalism that I talked about in my last video, which I'll link underneath and in the top right hand corner. So what is negativity? Somebody might ask. And if you have to ask, congratulations to you, because you probably don't experience a lot of it. Most of us deal with it every single day. Some sort of a trigger or something happens and it just creates a little spike of this feeling inside, like something's wrong. This feeling shouldn't belong. Like, why am I feeling like this? What caused this? Then you start resisting it. The resistance creates duality conversations in your mind. It just kind of overwhelms you, and there's not much you can do really to stop it overwhelming you. But the negativity doesn't have to be so all-encompassing, so all-absorbing. It doesn't have to become you. Negativity is completely avoidable. The reason why we feel negativity is because we allow it. We become it. We associate ourselves with it. But that is not the way forward. I am sorry to say, for those of you that love negativity, this is not the way forward. Because all of us deep down inside, all we want is happiness, joy, and fulfillment. That is it. We've all been created with the purpose to experience these things like joy, happiness, and fulfillment. That's why our brains secrete specific hormones, neurotransmitters, when we experience feelings of joy, happiness, and fulfillment. Those specific hormones and neurotransmitters create goodness, physical benefits, and mental benefits for us when they are secreted. As opposed to negativity and the hormones and neurotransmitters that create the feelings of negativity, they don't do any good. They don't do any good, and they usually spark up the survival portion of our brain, a very ancient part of our brain that creates the survival mechanism within us that's very deep-rooted, which is why it's so difficult to overcome negativity. So how do you overcome negativity, right? I'm sure everybody wants to know how to do it. And like with anything mindfulness and spirituality, in concept it's very easy, but in reality it is extremely difficult and it takes years of practice. So there's essentially two approaches. One is the long-term approach and one is the short-term approach. Let's touch on the long-term approach, what you have to do to get better at instinctively and instantly, without even thinking or realizing, overcome negativity as it arises. One thing that you need to realize through self-inquiry is that you need to take a step back. 99% of us identify ourselves as the body and the thinking mind, which is completely normal. That's all we're familiar with. That's what we get taught. That's unintentionally, by the way. That's what we're familiar with. That's what we get taught. And that's what shapes us as we get older in this experience we call life. But if you take a step back, you understand that you are not this body, you are not the thinking mind, but you are the awareness that is aware of this body and of this thinking mind, both of which allow the awareness to be aware and conscious in the reality that's constructed by the elaborate dance of physics, by the foundations of the unified field of consciousness. So if you are this entity, this presence, this strong existence beyond what we all think to be the reality, this flesh and bones, this beard, this thinking mind that's working right now to be able to do this video, that means regardless of what happens, regardless of what you feel, regardless of what you're experiencing, what sensations you have, the true you, the deep within awareness, the self, the observer, whatever you want to call it, is untouchable. You need to stop believing that you are this meat shield with a mind that's capable of extraordinary things, and that you are the awareness that's deep within, that is way beyond the physical. It is the essence of everything, the essence of existence, the essence of what is real. It is all-encompassing. It is untouchable. You can feel it, you can sense it, but you cannot touch it, regardless of what happens. Negativity cannot touch it. There's no physical damage that can happen to the awareness. There's no mental damage that can happen to the awareness. The awareness is the true you, and the true you is untouchable. The sooner you can get the separation, the sooner you can understand that your ego is completely separate from you, and you stop believing it. It's as if your ego is a child and is trying to constantly scream at you and shout at you and make you do things that it wants. As soon as you create that separation, you will understand that negativity cannot touch you because it is inconsequential. It has no power on you. You are beyond negativity. You have transcended all these bad feelings. You're way past them. They're just simply sensations. They have no significance except for being an object to be observed, admired, evaluated. This happens all through self-inquiry, self-inquiry. You have to be very consistent through self-inquiry to be able to understand these things and realize that the more you inquire within yourself, the more you will get separation between the awareness and the ego, and you will be able to understand that there's a difference between reality and reality. It probably sounds so woo-woo, and I know it does, but if you have practiced it a little bit, you will know what I mean. There is a feeling deep within that is truer than the truth that you have experienced so far. That there's more within you. You're not just a blip in the grand scheme of creation that will experience, live life, have emotions and situations that will create all kinds of life-shaping things. You will realize that you are the one that shapes. You are experience. You are everything. You'll experience the oneness that unites us all. So this long-term approach that I just talked about, it does not happen overnight. It takes years and years and years of practice to be able to achieve that state of presence and awareness where negativity simply does not affect you. And if it does arise, your inner mechanisms that you have developed through neuroplasticity will instantly jump on it and sort out whatever you're feeling in the moment pretty much straight away. You just don't become those negative emotions. You don't identify yourself with those negative emotions. They just go in and they go out same way as they just went in, without really touching anything within you. That way they also don't stay stuck within you. Not accepting what is happening non-judgmentally in front of you will present a very perfect opportunity for your mind to store those emotions and create blocks within your chakra system that creates a spirit block that prevents the energy from flowing freely, and that way they will resurface even more. Anytime something similar happens, any similar negative emotions become present, these feelings will resurface and they will make you feel like absolute crap again. Unless you do something about it. So what can you do in the moment? What you can do in the moment is exactly what you need to do to get to the long-term situation or position, I guess, that I talked about, where nothing happens. You have to create in the moment awareness. For example, as I'm talking to you right now, as I'm making this video, I always keep at least a tiny bit of attention to myself. I never give 100% of attention to the external world, whatever is happening outside. I always keep some attention to myself, to be able to sense my inner being, to be able to sense my consciousness and awareness, to be able to sense what is happening around, to be able to sense what is happening within me. That can be as simple as feeling your third eye, as simple as feeling your hands tingle, as simple as doing a slow body scan to look for negative emotions and feelings, to try and sense them as they're starting to bubble up within you. The more you practice it, the better you will get because of neuroplasticity. And this is the essence of the work that you need to do to be able to overcome negativity. So, as you are presented with a negative situation, what do? Well, first of all, you accept it and you don't judge it, because this is the reality that is unfolding in front of you. If you don't fight it, you will be able to observe it. Simply sit with the sensations. Simply sit and observe with what is unfolding in front of you, because that is the reality. Fighting it will only create more tension, where your ego is going to start fighting itself. Your ego will become the prevalent force within you. That is not what you want. You want to accept the fact that the ego exists, but you don't want the ego to be the driving force that guides you throughout life. You want to separate yourself from the ego, and you want to stop listening to your ego. The more acceptant you become, the easier it will become to observe everything that's unfolding in front of you. The easier it will be for you to become the awareness. You observe these things happening, and you don't even have to put on labels on them, as if it is fear, heartache, betrayal, whatever the negative emotion is. You don't have to put the labels on. All you have to do is accept the fact that a sensation has arisen. That sensation is creating negativity in you, and you sit with it and you observe it. You don't avoid it, you don't judge it, you don't deny it. All of that's going to cause chaos in your mind. Your mind is going to go mental. It's going to start creating this chatter, talking to itself, trying to justify what's happening. That is not how you overcome negativity. That is avoidance, that is denial, And that is only going to make it easy for your ego to store that in its pocket for a later time. And the more you actually store them, the harder it is for you to overcome them further down the line. The problem is that we, throughout our lives, develop this very elaborate filtering system through events, emotions, and experiences that is really good at making the uncomfortable comfortable, which is not what we really want. We want to accept the discomfort, overcome it as it arises, and put it aside once we have dealt with it, when it will never hurt us again. For example, babies are amazing at that because all they see is sensations. They don't know what life is, they don't know what experience is. They simply go through life through a set of sensations. They don't even know they are emotions, they don't even know they are sensations. That's how basic their understanding is of life. And that's how far back we want to go with this practice. We want to see the negativity as a sensation. A sensation that will not touch our true selves, the true awareness within us. If you can adjust your understanding of who you truly are into that you are that awareness, the untouchable presence within you, then the negativity will not touch you. You will be able to observe it non-judgmentally, with acceptance, and put it aside and let it just sit there, and it will never hurt you again. The more you practice it, the easier it will become. The more present you can be, the easier it will be to accept those emotions and events and experiences non-judgmentally. It is as simple in concept as that, but it is extremely difficult in practice. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, if you want to ask me any questions, leave a comment below. There are still some spaces to have a chat with me for free for an hour, where I'll give you some spiritual and mindful guidance. I've spoken to quite a few people now, and it helped them massively on their spiritual journeys. And it, like I said, is completely for free. If you want to book one of those calls with me, there's going to be a link tree below. If you click on the link tree, there's going to be a booking link there. If you want to support me further, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link underneath. I will also link any videos that I mentioned, anything that I feel like might be of interest to yourselves underneath too. Other than that, if you did enjoy the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Maybe recommend it to some other people that you know that practice mindfulness and spirituality that might find this useful. But to close off this video, this has been ailandas.sulcas from Productively Mindful. I love you all, and I will speak to you next week. Goodbye.